Yo then guys, and welcome back to another video. Now today we have a lot to cover, ladies and gentlemen. A lot to cover. We have the flipping drama fest that is between Tati Westbrooke. Why is that such a posh sounding name? So we have beef between Tati Westbrooke, flipping Shane Dawson, Jeffree Star and James Charles is what I was going to say there. James Charles, that is, I don't know anymore. There's also a Twitch lawsuit for someone's trying to get them for suggestive content, which we'll delve into. And we also are talking about the fact that Belle Delphine is back and she's made an OnlyFans. But it's not quite the same as every other OnlyFans. We'll delve into that one as well. So I just want to get this flipping... it's a fuckfest. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, but we're going to get into it. So originally, Tati made a big video apologizing publicly for what she did last May to James Charles, outing him in a video called Bye Sis. She claims that Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson were essentially manipulating her. She was off guard. She says that she normally is, onto these things very quickly. And yeah, she wasn't. Why wasn't she? Because James Charles did a brand deal with an opposing brand to hers. So Tati Westbrooke has a brand or a company called Halo Beauty Brand, I believe it's called. And James Charles did a brand deal with a competitor called Sugar Bear Hair. And she wasn't happy, to say the least. And that was her excuse. She said that she was really annoyed at him for the fact that he did a brand deal with a, competing brand, that when Shane Dawson came to her and Jeffree Star came to her and were essentially just destroying James Charles, not in person, behind his back, and essentially egged her on to make this video. She goes on to say that Jeffree Star, he almost had like a hobby of ruining James Charles' look to her. Like, it was just constant insults. So I don't really know what's going on. I mean, people can shit on you behind your back, but outing them publicly is a completely different thing. I mean, she apologized, but at the end of the day, it kind of seems like you know what? I did some shit. I did some bad shit, but I don't really want to take responsibility for that right now. So it was them two. Them two made me do it. He blackmailed me because he has stuff, Jeffree Star. He has stuff on everybody, and it's going to come out. So you'll see. And, Shane Dawson, just a manipulator. Those two were making me do it. They had a fucking gun to my head, and that's what it's like. I mean, these three are literally like a triangle of manipulators. They all have a gun to each other's heads and are still acting like the victim. Like, that's what this is. Essentially, they're all just trying to come out looking the best way they can. That's the best way to put it. I mean, it would definitely be interesting to see what kind of stuff Jeffree Star has on people, because apparently he has quite a bit on some YouTube stars. So I guess, according to Tati, that's going to come out pretty soon. So we'll see. Now, speaking about golden boy Shane Dawson. He's not a golden boy. Oh boy. He's seriously beginning to be in some, let's say, a lot of trouble. Some deep waters. So YouTube have now confirmed to BuzzFeed News, of all fucking news articles, that all three of Shane Dawson's channels have been demonetized for a lot. He's had a lot of claims on him. A lot of claims. So basically, he's come back into the spotlight. People have been digging up his old videos, and there's been racism, bestiality, mockery of disabilities, underage stuff that's just, you don't joke about it unless you are sure that there's no fucking holes in it. It's dodgy. It's very dodgy. So the first thing that people did was they went for him for being racist. He did a blackface video, much like quite a few content creators did back in the day. Joe Weller fucking did a how to be KSI video, and I think he put like tights over his head or made his face black, like colored it in or something. I mean, that's not far off, but I don't know. I'm not too sure on all of this stuff. I mean, back in the day, most people probably laughed at this stuff. That is the problem, is that most of the people that were laughing at it back then, 10 years ago, now seem to have a problem with it. I completely understand why you would have a problem with it, okay? It's just a bit of a shit sketch. Second to that, he was accused of anti-Semitism after, in a video, playing out the role of Hitler and saying, "Kill all the Jews." Yeah. He's not using his brain. Now, look, I don't think the guy is actually anti-Semitic. What I do think is that he's a fucking idiot. Like, who on earth, seriously, when they're thinking of video ideas, goes, you know what? I've thought of the fucking perfect idea. I'm going to pretend to be the man that killed 6 million people just because of their religion and what they believed in. And then I'm going to say, let's kill all those people like that man probably did multiple times. Probably not the best idea. I mean, I say he's probably not that guy, but he's now friends with Jeffree Star, who did a Schwafsticker lipstick brand. I'm kidding. I'm not linking the two with that. Or, I mean, hey, it's 2020. Fucking anything can happen right now. As I say, he's also been called out for making bestiality jokes and mocking people with disabilities, which probably isn't the best fucking idea to do. But hey, do as you want. Before I make the last point, which we're going to go into, essentially, this was like 9 years ago, 10 years ago. The guy was just trying to make a name for himself in the worst way. He's trying to do what most young comedians do when they're not that funny, and they just go for stuff that's going to insult people and shock value. The problem with that is that you have to be very, very careful and very good with it. Ricky Gervais is a classic example of that, because the guy jokes about anything, but it's the way that he brings his jokes about and the way he thinks about them, and there's no holes in them. People can bring up any one of that guy's jokes and try and question him about it, and he'll have a reason as to why that's okay and why that's all right to joke about. And I'm afraid Shane Dawson just didn't think about it in that way. So the last one was he essentially pretended to masturbate to a picture of Willow Smith. What's that? That's not that bad, because how old's Willow Smith now? Yeah, this was when she was 11 years old, ladies and gentlemen. So Jaden Smith and Jada Smith, is that how you pronounce it? I don't know. The brother and mother both came out on Twitter. The mother saying there's no excuses, like, what is this? And Jaden coming out and just going for him, saying that he doesn't appreciate that he was sexualizing his 11-year-old sister. So Shane Dawson, I don't care if you like him or you hate him, he came out in the worst way in a tweet and said, hey, I've deleted everything. If you want to find something, go find it. I'm too sensitive for this right now. I'm done. I'm sorry, buds. But when you make a mistake like that, you don't have the right to say that you're too sensitive. That's a cop-out. There's no cop-out here. You cannot cop out of that. Because if you do, you don't deserve everything you have YouTube-wise. You've made a mistake. Now fucking own up to it. You see Jenna Marbles, the way that she owned up to her mistakes. She got her fucking mistakes on a laptop next to her, and she showed every mistake she'd ever made and apologized for it one by one. This guy's just gone, I've deleted everything. I'm too sensitive for this. No. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Own up to it and move on. That's it. I mean, he did apologise, but his apology was bang average, if not worse than that. He essentially came out and said, I'm now 31, and all the apology videos that I've made in the past were because I felt a tiny bit bad and people made me. And so I didn't mean it. How are we meant to believe that? When you've come out countless times saying you believe it, and then in the start of this apology video, you said you didn't mean it. And then you're saying again that you mean it. What, so in 6 months, are you just going to say that you didn't mean it and that you were forced to do it? We don't believe a fucking word you say, mate. I'm sorry. Essentially, I actually don't think his channel is going to be remonetized. I mean, sure, some of these things probably would have been funny 10 years ago, but at the end of the day, if you're going to make shock value jokes and just insult everybody, you have to make it bulletproof, whether that be now or in 10 years. At the end, like that's just how it is. I mean, some of those jokes, I feel a little bit bad. Like, some of the blackface stuff, it's not great, but yeah. I mean, if it was just that on its own, he wouldn't have been cancelled. Whereas, you know, when you're acting like Hitler and telling everyone to kill the Jews, and you're pretending to masturbate to an 11-year-old, and there's plenty more videos where that came from. I've been tagged in a video where he's essentially saying an 11-year-old was sexy. Because she was a cheerleader. He saw her on Instagram, 125,000 followers, and his co-host of, I think it was like a podcast, his co-host essentially told him to shut the fuck up because he was making her uncomfortable. He called an 11-year-old girl sexy. Are we seriously supporting this man? It's a no from me, ladies and gentlemen. It's a no from me. Anyway, we're going to move away from all that stuff. Twitch They are being sued for $25 million. Fuck my life. A man claims that the streaming platform has exposed him to suggestive content. Now, for those of you that don't know what that means, it's basically exposing him to sexual content. It's not even sexual. So I'll break it down for you more in a little bit, but essentially the man named Eric Salvio, it's Estalvio. If I'm butchering that name, I apologize. This man is not new to trying to sue a company of this size. He's tried to sue Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, and a couple others, I believe, in like recent times. So he's not new to this. Essentially, he's given a list of female streamers that have exacerbated his sex addiction. He goes on to say that he's got OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and says it's impossible to use the streaming platform without coming across this and being exposed to this. So in this lawsuit, he gives a few names like Amaranth, Loser Fruit, Pokimane, and Alinity, and 20 others. Yes, that's right, 20 others. But are you ready for this? So he's after monetary compensation, but that's not the only thing he wants. He wants all the streamers to be permanently banned. Wow. I mean, I'm not trying to mock the guy. Like, the guy comes out of a good point of you should be able to search via gender. I think that's a good point because people that also suffer from this stuff, you know, like, if you're seduced by seeing a good-looking girl on the internet, that's not embarrassing. And that should be a thing. Like, you should be able to search via gender to stop this from happening. I mean, on the other side of things, he follows 786 female streamers and 0 male. So part of the problem may be who he's following. That could be quite a big part. I mean, at the end of the day, I feel sorry for the guy, okay? Because it must be really shit to have to go through something like that. But at the end of the day, can you really permanently ban somebody just because they're a good-looking woman? Don't think so. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Belle Delphine making her return. Not just to YouTube. She's also set up an OnlyFans account. But this is where it gets interesting, okay? So most people will bash OnlyFans users, which is fucking beyond me why this is a thing. But it is. People get bashed for having an OnlyFans. And essentially, you're most of the time selling nudes. People pay a subscription and they get your nudes for it. Or, you know, just some not safe for work content. Yeah, she's not doing this. You know, she plays this really, really well, to be honest. I mean, when you put it in the way of she's essentially taking advantage of, you know, desperate men, it's not so good. But I mean, her Pornhub account, for instance, there's like, it's something like being with two cocks and it's cockerels. She's got fucking cockerels and that's what she's called it. She's got another one saying like being penetrated and she's just putting a pencil up her nose. Like that is, she's smart. I will give it to her because she's essentially sexualized the title and there's nothing, it's clickbait. That's what it is. It is clickbait. Essentially, it kind of works. She was penetrated by a pencil. Why has this gone this far? But anyway, she's made an OnlyFans. She's got naked, but she's censored everything. And get ready for this, ladies and gentlemen. You're paying $35 a month for that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You're paying it won't be ladies that are buying that shit, let's be honest. It's mostly gentlemen. Gentlemen, you're paying $35. And this is where it sounds really dodgy because it makes it sound like I've bought her OnlyFans. I fucking haven't, okay? I went on Reddit. This is going to sound even worse. I went on Reddit and it came up with pictures because people... This sounds like I'm actually trying to look at her OnlyFans. I'm not, okay? And the more I defend myself, the more it sounds like I am. Essentially, I saw a news article where people were like, you're paying $35 for a white bar over the thing that people are buying to see. And I didn't believe it. So I went on Reddit. And there it is. I'm not going to put a picture up. I said, there it is. Like, here you are. Have a look at this. I'm not going to be putting it up on the screen. She puts a white bar over everything, like, you know, over the top and the bottom half. Now, for those of you that don't know why I'm saying that, I'm still trying to get monetized here. I ain't trying to get not safe for ads, okay? So yeah, she's censoring everything. So men are paying $35 to be censored, like to get censored content. Now, as I'm saying, I haven't looked at her OnlyFans, so I'm not sure if all her posts are censored, but from what I saw, there's quite a few that are, so I wouldn't be surprised if she has censored all of them. Yeah, it's interesting, because essentially she's called her fan base the Simp Nation, and they are a bunch of simps. Like, they will pay $35 for censored content, which is mad. Whatever floats your boat, I guess. But there we are. That is everything I wanted to talk about. All three topics. It's interesting. The internet is really, really popping off right now. Just left, right, and center with allegations here and there. Flipping the beauty community popping off every 5 seconds, and Twitch just banning everyone left, right, and center, and being sued, and Belle Delphine making a return. It's mad. It's a mad year. I mean, it's good for YouTube content, but, you know, I don't mind that so much. Really quickly, I just want to say my first video of the post-lockdown, like in the last 3.5 months, went live today as I'm recording this. If you haven't already, please go and check out Monday's video. It will mean a fucking great deal to me. I put so much time and effort into that video. I essentially got to the office at 9 p.m, started recording, and had it edited by 7 a.m. the next morning. I've literally put so much into that. So if you could please just go check it out. It will be in the end credits, and it will also be in the description as a link. So just go click on it and go check it out. I'd really appreciate it. If you are new around here, please hit the subscribe button. We're like 8 subscribers off of 2,000 subs. Ridiculous, I know. I appreciate all the support on the first video. I've had quite a few people message me saying that they're glad I'm back. I appreciate the people that are still here. It means a lot to me. It really fucking does. But anyway then, guys, as I did say, this is indeed where we're going to end this video. If you did enjoy it, then please smash the like button, comment what it is down below, subscribe, share the video around. I would love to get a little community. And other than that, I will see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.